I'd like to call to order the Washington Township Regular School Board meeting for April 23rd, 2025. Let the record show that all 5 board members are present. As we do with all of our board meetings, I'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you'll join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So I'm going to take a point of privilege here to add a little something to the agenda. It's not really added to the agenda, but today is Administrative Assistance Day. And so we do have one of our amazing administrative assistants here today, and the board would like to recognize you and appreciate you for the work that you do for us as well as the district. So part of that's for you and part of it's if you want to share it with your family. So it's up to you.
Thank you.
I guess we could have given you a medallion too if you want.
I'm good.
Okay. So first item on the agenda for tonight is school spotlight, and it's Allisonville Elementary. Mrs. Reffett.
This is Rabbit and Chauncey.
All right. Thank you everyone for having us. We're Allisonville Elementary School. I'm Mary Beth Reffett, principal, and I'm so proud of our crowd tonight. Chomp, chomp. As you all know, we are the Allisonville Alligators, and that's the essence of everything we do at our great school. And we welcomed you on Monday. Thank you for Mr. Thompson for coming and Dr. Woodson and other members of the cabinet. So we are here tonight to highlight Allisonville, and we have lots of great things to share. The first thing I'd like to share is that at Allisonville, we take pride in ourselves and our school. And we are the Gators, right, guys? We are AV. All right. So we'll get started. So our points of pride, which I'll click through here as I go. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Taylor. So for our staff, we have lots of points of pride and we have some wonderful staff members here tonight, but I'd like to shout out Mr. Brandon Smith and Nick Button, who are our Gator Academy team. They have been selected to attend the Bond Academy the 2nd year in a row, and they actually leave this weekend. They'll be in Baltimore doing some great learning there. Mr. Auslander, our amazing tech teacher, led the 8th annual Kahoot Cup, which is something he invented, and he connected 4,400 students across 53 countries this year. It continues to grow, and he is world renowned for that. We had 8 teachers submit grants in the fall and spring session to the Washington Township Schools Foundation, which is a great partner to us, and they provided grants for everything from parent resources to learning social skills to some box books and more. And then we want to celebrate our amazing staff. We have 105 staff members at Allisonville, and there have been 10 times this year that all 105 of us have been at school together. So it's pretty amazing to have perfect staff attendance 10 times. And we bring the Woot Woot Wagon over. I'd like to shout out Mr. Warren, our assistant principal. He helps with the Woot Woot Wagon, which is a green wagon filled with candy on perfect attendance days. For our students, we would like to talk about our amazing robotics team. We had 4 top teams in the district meet, and they are continuing to grow our robotics team, looking forward to next year. The mathletes team, whose coach is here, Ms. Hudson is our mathletes coach. She helped them repeat as district champs this year, and they also placed 6th in the state. And I would like to say the only 5 teams ahead of us were 5 of the Carmel's teams, then Washington Township, and then some more Carmel teams. So we're very proud of that. We had over 92 students involved in the Lion King, students in 4th and 5th grade, and that was a phenomenal musical this year led by our amazing music teacher, Ms. Krupa. Over 300 students participated in 18 after-school clubs that were offered in the fall and spring, and we had over 29 staff members helping to sponsor those clubs to provide some enrichment after school. We have a great student ambassador program, and you met them when you came on Monday. They were greeting you, but they also hosted a very successful food drive in November. And then lastly, we make it a point to welcome any new student to Allisonville and have a monthly new student orientation that helps show them all about the Gator Way. For our school community, we hold Gator gatherings once a month to celebrate our great school community and all of our awards and what it means to be a Gator. We've also added some new family events. Our family events are really successful and widely popular. We have some great families here tonight. Thank you for coming. And so we added the A in our STEM night to add art into STEAM. And Miss Jones, our math coach, helped to head that up. Miss Jones. Tomorrow night, if you're looking for something to do after the board meeting tonight, join us for literacy night. Ms. Hodson, our amazing literacy coach, is helping to plan literacy night with Ms. Ferguson, our librarian. And that's happening tomorrow. And then our Black History Showcase continues to grow. And we've added Hispanic Heritage Night this year, which was really exciting. Our PTO, which is amazing. Thank you, PTO. Some of you are here, including Trisha Brand, our PTO president. Thank you, Trisha. They were able to raise enough money to fund soundproofing in our cafeteria just 1 year after soundproofing our gym last year, which is a total of $40,000. So they are an amazing partner to us. And then most importantly, we always include student voice and choice in celebrating our school. And you'll hear about 2 of those amazing Gators here in just a little bit who have created the Golden Chompy Award. And we also, for the first time, celebrated Chompy's birthday, which is on January 31st. He turned 5. Chomp, chomp. Chompy is our mascot. All right, there we go. Dr. Taylor. There we go. All right, achievement progress areas. So some areas of academic achievement that we are proud of is that our preliminary iRead results show an improvement from last year, especially in grade 3. And those are embargoed, so we can't tell you, but we are very excited when they come out very soon. Every grade level performed above the state average on all of the iLearn checkpoints this year, which was a new assessment. We're taking iLearn currently, but we are excited about that end of year data. Our discipline referrals were down over 20% compared to last year, which is something we've been working hard on. By the start of quarter 4, which we're in right now, we had over 175 students who had completed our home reading program, which is called the Chompy Reading Challenge, which means you need to read 100 books over the course of the year. And that's a new initiative this year. So thank you, Mrs. Ferguson, for helping with that. Our DIBELS data, which is a new assessment, was improved by 5.2% from the beginning of the year to the middle of the year. And we will be taking that again at the end of the year and expect some additional improvement there as well. We had some very intentional tutoring groups this year to help with iRead, and we had students coming after school, but also an intervention group at the end of the day, which showed some really promising results for iRead in both grades 2 and 3. And lastly, our first grade had the innovative idea of creating a growth group at the very last bit of the day, which was kind of a downtime. And so they got together and thought, how can we really make this a useful time? So they are doing differentiated instruction as students rotate among the 5 rooms with a 30-minute win time, which stands for What I Need. Looking forward to growth at Allisonville. We're excited about these growth bullets as well. We continue to implement conscious discipline strategies throughout all classrooms. We have calming corners in all classrooms. And we did introduce with Miss Stewart, who's our MTSS coach, Miss Stewart, Everyday Speech, which is an intervention tool for social skills curriculum that's used daily, which shows social emotional lagging skills and helps students on tiered intervention plans. We also continue to identify trends and correlations, specifically with DIBELS this year, which was a new assessment, and how does that correlate with our state assessments? So moving forward, we can better identify students in need of specific intervention. With the new curriculum, CKLA, we have been getting our feet wet with that and have really enjoyed it, bringing the science of reading more infused in everything we do at Allisonville. So teachers are continuing to analyze and talk about any successes and challenges moving into year 2 after year 1. Every Gator, every day is our new attendance initiative at Allisonville. We have a goal of 95% attendance daily or higher. We know if you're not at school, you can't do your great learning. So we're looking for every Gator every day. And we have some cool initiatives and incentives that we've done with that. But we, today, 97%, chomp chomp. That was awesome. We're also continuing the great work of Tier 1 teaching strategies involving all students, which is really the essence of everything we do to ensure high student participation and active engagement all day long in every classroom. And the last thing, we're taking iLearn, but the iLearn blueprints were very helpful to us this year with the checkpoints, really digging into those and looking at the framework to increase overall proficiency. Some promising practices that we have at Allisonville that we will continue to grow is the Gator Way, which you see today. That is the school-wide identity that we are AV and that we have pride in ourselves in our school. We hold high expectations for ourselves as adults and for students, and we truly have the belief that everyone can do it. Dr. Severns, who was introduced to us this year by Dr. Pettigrew, our leadership team just really enjoyed her presentation and was able to bring her to our staff. She met with both our instructional assistants and our full staff to do some PD on rigor and what that looks like in the classroom. Also, Beth Simons, who is a longtime Washington Township employee. We're lucky enough to have her as one of our instructional assistants at Allisonville, but she's a former writing coach, and she has been consulting with teams and doing ongoing PD about best practice in writing and how to infuse that in the literacy block. We added a weekly team planning this year in addition to our PLCs. So those complement each other, and the coaches have led that, which has really helped teachers have commonality in their planning. Our new attendance initiative, which I talked about, Every Gator, Every Day. We have incentives for school-wide, grade level, classroom attendance, and a goal of 95% or higher daily. And lastly, we have a strong MTSS process, which we've used for several years at Allisonville, which identifies students in need of Tier 2 and 3 support so we can proactively intervene straight away. And we do that through data analysis, teacher data meetings, progress monitoring, and our SST or student success team. All right, with all that being said, I would like to recognize our awards for today, our spotlight. This is our special recognition, and we will start with our students. So I'd like to call student librarians Ryan Malik and Kendall Higgins up. If you guys want to just walk up here to Dr. Woodson. Okay, Kendall is a 4th grader. And Ryan is a 5th grader. They have spent their entire career at Allisonville, and they are junior librarians, which means they help in the library weekly. They give up time to read with younger students, shelf books, collect books. But even better, they are change makers, because both of them, when we launched Every Gator Every Day, came to me with an idea of how we could celebrate Every Gator Every Day. Ryan came up with the idea of the Golden Chompy, and he presented that with me. He met with me in my office, and we created together an award where the class in the grade level with the highest attendance each month gets a Golden Chompy at the Gator Gathering. How awesome is that? And then Kendall's classes had several perfect attendance. They actually are leading our school. They have over 20, Ms. Bruder, 25 maybe. So Kendall and Ms. Bruder is her teacher. Kendall, collectively with her class, wrote me a petition and said, if the teachers get the Woot Woot Wagon, what should students get if we have 20 perfect attendance? Well, obviously, they should get the Woot Woot Wagon, right? So the Woot Woot Wagon visited Mrs. Bruder's class first, and then it has visited every other class that's gotten 10 perfect attendance or more. So great job, Ryan and Kendall. We're proud of you.
Nice work. Thank you.
Great job. Good job.
Oh, another picture.
Oh, sorry. Good.
All right, great job. Next, I'd like to call Connie Killingrew up to the front. Connie is our Above and Beyond Award winner because she is a volunteer extraordinaire. I've never seen her in anything but Gator Green. Look at her tonight. I'm not kidding. She has green shoes, green pants, green dresses, green shirts. But Connie is the best volunteer ever. She comes through no matter what. She comes every Monday morning at 9 o'clock so we can hold an office meeting and holds down the fort at the front. But she also volunteers in the classroom. She's a PTO member. She runs our Gator Jam concessions. She's in the library. She's working book fair. Really anything, Connie does it. So Connie, we couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. And lastly, I'd like to ask Adam Brand, founder of Makerspace, up to the front. This is our supportive partnership recognition. So I'm just going to read what Makerspace is if you're not familiar. It provides tools, technology, and arts to encourage imagination, curiosity, engineering, building, and more. And they have a space in Fishers, but they also take their show on the road. And Adam founded it with his dad, and it is just an amazing partnership. And they have supported Allisonville in several ways. They were at Steam Night, had a booth there, made little 3D chompies for everyone who attended. They also supported our trivia night by being a sponsor, and he has donated 2 3D printers to our tech room and all the ink. So Adam, thank you so much.
This is downtown Kimber. Yeah, first Makerspace. So, what an honor.
No, she's got a bad foot. Got a bad foot.
All right. I just want to say in closing, it's a great day to be a Gator. So thank you for having us.
Well,
They already know.
so I didn't even need to say anything today.
It's a pretty day.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Yeah, it is nice. All right, next on the agenda is superintendent's announcements. Dr. Woodson.
Thank you, President Turner. The school board and the entire community is invited out Monday evening at 5 p.m. to rededicate North Central High School. It will be held at the new Door 1. If you haven't been by, you'll get to see inside. But it is a community invitation because it took the entire community support and effort to make this happen. So we're very excited about that. We also have a wealth of legislative updates. These are the last few weeks you'll get this mountain of updates, but still very, very important for the board to keep up with. And then we have a special report on special services data from Dr. Skabinski that the board will want to review. And last, we have a supermodel among us. We have a cover model on the Indiana School Boards Association. Our very own Stephen Thompson is featured as a new face with Indiana School Boards. Not only is he on the cover, but there is a feature profile in the article as well. So I'm going to pass this down so everyone can see. Congratulations, Mr. Thompson.
Need a medallion too? Need a medallion? Oh, thank you.
That is
Doc-
it.
Oh,
Sorry.
thank you, Dr. Wilson. That was quick. Yeah. That was quick. Next item on our agenda is comments from the public. Will be comments from the public. Are there any members of the public that would like to speak? Seeing one, please. I don't know if I have to read the rules to you. We've seen you before, but but just, you
You're
know,
welcome to if you want.
yeah, that's fine. I think you understand. So appreciate you.
Okay. Jerry Phillips, 7102 Allisonville Road. The words that I'm about to say are not being stated or intended to be related to any legal action, past, present, future, whatever. But I recently was made aware that the stormwater permit for Eastwood Middle School had been renewed. from the 2021 stormwater permit. And so then I did a little digging, and then I found out that the next day after it had been renewed, it had been canceled and a driveway permit was filed. And I'm just curious what's going on there. Thank you.
Thank you. And just for the rest of, well, for the public that's on, maybe watching this later at their leisure, we hear from members of the public. We don't respond immediately, but we do follow up. So appreciate you taking the time. Any other members from the public? Seeing none, I'll move on to our approval of this consent agenda presented by Dr. Taylor.
Thank you, President Turner, members of the school board, Dr. Woodson. I recommend that you approve the consent agenda for this evening's meeting. This consent agenda includes the following: approval of the minutes of the April 9th, 2025 board meeting, approval of one payroll calculation summary report, a claims docket in the amount of $4,875,265.97, a human resources report containing for classified personnel. We have 10 new hires, that's numbers 221 through 230, 6 resignations, numbers 124 through 129, 1 retirement, number 8, 3 terminations, numbers 31 through 33. For certified personnel, we have 7 resignations, that's numbers 181 through 187, and 1 maternity child rearing adoption, and that's number 1. There is 1 non-competitive grant, gift, or donation to present for board approval. That's the approval of the continuation of the Pyramid Model Grant for the Early Learning Center for the 25-26 school year in the amount of $55,000. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions the board may have regarding the consent agenda for this evening.
Board have questions? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented by Dr. Taylor.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further questions? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Dr. Taylor. Next up, action items. First action item for tonight is the approval of Pathway subscription renewal. Mrs. Dotson.
Good evening, Dr. Woodson and school board members. I am here to seek approval to move forward with an agreement for continued services with Education Advance for their Pathways product. The Pathways platform, which I have been here to talk to you about before, does provide a much needed system for North Central school counselors and administrators to streamline data collection and help them to work efficiently to ensure students are on track for graduation. The program allows counselors and administrators to track student completion of graduation requirements, which, as you know, with the new graduation requirements, become more and more complicated. It includes credits earned toward the diploma, the demonstration of employability skills, post-secondary readiness competencies, and more. It also keeps this information organized without the need for multiple spreadsheets, and they are able to quickly see student progressions and identify students who are of concern for not meeting those benchmarks along the way. Because Pathways syncs with Skyward, we eliminate a great deal of human error that comes with manual entry of data into spreadsheets. And most importantly, I would say the program helps school counselors get back time with students rather than do paperwork. Pathways has been on the forefront of Indiana's redesigned high school diploma, and they have made adjustments to their product to support schools during this time of transition as we go into next school year. At this time, the state of Indiana has not developed another tracking system for graduation requirements, so we are seeking to continue our partnership with Pathways for the 2025-26 school year. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have about this at this time.
Board have questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the approval of Pathway subscription renewal as presented by Ms. Dotson.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further questions? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Next action item, approval of adult education performance stipends. Mr. Delay.
Good evening, Board. President Turner, members of the board, Dr. Woodson. I'm here seeking approval for the 25 program year adult education performance stipends. Our adult education team hit both of our mid-year benchmark incentives in enrollment and educational academic gains set by the Department of Workforce Development. By reaching both milestones, the Washington Township Adult Education Program was awarded performance funding from DWD. To highlight some of the impact adult education has on our community, Indiana leads the nation in academic gains and in workforce training enrollment. Indiana is second in the nation in career certification trainings, and Indiana is third in the nation in GED diplomas, only behind California and Texas, pretty large states. Students who earn a GED diploma have an average wage increase of $5,000 to their household incomes, and students who earn a diploma and a workforce certification through our program earn an average of $8,900 to increase household income. I'm proud to announce that the Washington Township Adult Education Team will be awarded by the state a Program of Excellence for the third straight year. And we also will lead the state in GED diplomas for a third straight year. Thank you. And any questions?
Board have questions?
No, just a comment. Thank you for your excellent work. That's amazing. And thank you for recognizing your staff. That's also amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. Can I make one more note? I think this is 20 years for me, so maybe the last time I stand up here,
Uh-oh.
Dr. Woodson. With Dr. Woodson. So thank you, Dr. Woodson, Mr. Turner, always for your support with adult ed. It's been wonderful for me to be able to grow it, and you guys and Becky and her team and cabinet to allow me to grow it to what it's become. So thank you very much.
Invite me to the graduations.
Amen. I love you. Thank you.
We have to vote first. Don't sit down. So, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the adult education performance stipends as presented by Mr. Delay.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further questions or comments? I will jump in here and throw my comment in. So, what Mr. Delay does not talk about, he talks about the stats and he talks about what in his staff, which is a great leader, but the name recognition about what he does for adult ed here in the district is across the state. And so he's got North Central, he has North Central and Washington Township in the spotlight in a good way around adult ed. So it's up to your leadership, but also to the staff that you have. So we appreciate this. And this is a great way, as Mr. Thompson said, to recognize that great work. So thank you very much.
So much.
With that being said, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the approval of 2016-2020 capital construction project change orders. Mr. Boots.
Thank you, President Turner. Good evening, members of the board and Dr. Woodson. First are the change orders. I have 3 change orders tonight for 3 projects. Change order number 001 to Skillman Davis Joint Venture for the Washington Township Services Center. Change order number 001 to Star Environmental for the North Central Phase 3 project. And change order number 001 also to Star Environmental for the JEL and Washington Township Services Center project. The total of these is $379,305.84 and will be funded from the capital referendum funds. Be happy to respond to any questions.
Board, Mrs. Horst Kruger.
Not necessarily a question, but I know we've discussed this at board meetings before, but for our public errors and omissions, can you give us a little definition around that?
We can, yes, of course. We track every change and what we call a cause code. Some of those are errors and omissions by the design or engineering teams, and we track those. And at the end of each project, we analyze those. There's a certain number that is acceptable in the industry. And if it exceeds that number, then we're talking about reimbursement of some of those expenses. But that's simply how we categorize those things.
Thank
that-
you.
Other questions, board? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
Move to approve the 2016-2020 capital construction project change orders as presented by Mr. Boots.
A second.
Moved and seconded. Any further questions? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Mr. Boots. Next action item, approval of IAA document A-133, 2019 GMP amendment for the Skillman Corporation for West Lane and Eastwood Bus Barn demolition. Mr. Boots.
Thank you, Mr. President. And yes, I am seeking approval for an amendment to the Skillman Corporation at Eastwood and West Lane to complete the bus barn, the bus shed, as we call them, demolition and final site work. You may remember some time ago, during the normal projects, we had a little bit of delay here on Central Campus, which delayed us relocating all of the buses here, which means we had to maintain those existing bus sheds at the two middle schools. Since, of course, that has been completed, bus sheds have been moved over. We are now circling back and finishing the final stages of those two projects. Bids were received on April 3rd, vetted by the Skillman Corporation, and received their recommendation to award contract. The amount of the contract is $1,623,881 and will be from capital referendum funding.
Board have questions? If not, I do have one. It's not really a question. I was wondering if you could just help explain, not in detail, but what's involved in this demolition for that particular cost? I know there's two different locations. I get that, but if you could just explain a little bit about what's included and
Of
what,
course, yeah, those bus sheds are wood structures with metal siding, have been around for, I don't know, many, many years, 30, 40 years maybe or so. They are beyond their life and of course no longer needed, so we will demolish all of that. And then some of that space becomes green space and some of that space becomes additional parking, which will fill out the design parking spaces for each of those facilities.
so is that additional parking piece included in this?
It's all included in this, yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Mrs. George Davis, you
You're
seem like you
asking
had,
all the same
Oh.
questions.
did you have,
You're just ahead of me.
no, you have another one? I'm sorry.
No, that was it. I was trying to find out when you said parking, if all those things you mentioned were included in there, because you look at that price tag and you're like,
Yes.
I'll go tear it down for free.
Correct. Tear it down, but it also completes a lot of site
Okay.
improvements, parking,
So the green space, I'm assuming is just
just grass.
grass,
Yes.
nothing special.
Mhm.
Okay.
Other questions, board? Entertain a motion.
Move to approve the AIA document A-133, 2019 GMP amendment for the Skillman Corporation for West Lane and Eastwood Bus Barn demolition presented by Mr. Boots.
Been moved and seconded. Any further questions? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Mr. Boots. Next item is approval of building automation controls purchase agreement with Temperature Control Services for JEL Phase 5. Mr. Boots.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, I am seeking approval of purchase order number 16 to Temperature Control Services for the JEL replacement of HVAC units and controls throughout the facility. As you may recall, back in 2021, a special purchasing arrangement was developed with Temperature Control Systems, and that arrangement will be used to execute this purchase order. The cost of this is $247,422 and also will be from capital referendum funding.
Board have questions? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the building automation controls purchase agreement with Temperature Control Services for JEL Phase 5 as presented by Mr. Boots.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Mr. Boots. Next item on the agenda. Approval of the first quarter 2025 financial reports for January, February, and March. Mrs. Smith.
Thank you, President Turner, Dr. Woodson, members of the board. I bring to you this evening our customary board reports, financial reports. I'll bring up the one on the screen. In your board packet, you'll see the individual months for all the major budgeted funds through the Department of Local Government Finance. And then what we share here during our quarter update is our main funds of our education, our operating referendum, and our operations fund. And we show us a quarterly summary with those three. And mind you that this has been updated. Of course, this is a new budget year. So our budget years for these funds for schools run January through December. So all the budget order information has been updated in that green section in that first column. All our anticipated revenue according to our certified budget and our expenditures from those three funds. And then you'll see the quarterly amounts there for those three funds according to the types of revenue and also the types of expenditures there. And then, of course, our budget year-to-date is the same since we're in the first quarter of the year. This also shows our customary graphs that you'll see on the right-hand side. We have the data on the left, and then we have the information for the graphs on the right. It shows our budgets. It shows how our budgets are broke down between salaries, benefits, professional services, and such. So you'll see the pieces of that pie there. And then right below that, you'll see our revenue and our expenditure budgets, and then how we're doing on our year-to-dates according to those budgets. And then you'll see also down at the bottom, just a quick summary here with that blue line saying the percent of the budget year expended. That is a simple formula. The days of the year divided by, the numbers, total numbers of days in the year for that quarter. And then how we are doing percentage-wise according to that. Revenue received is below that, about 15.47%. And just to remind you that that is because of the property taxes that we receive twice a year. So you'll see that number low until we hit May and June, and then November and December, since some of these funds are, the revenue is received from property taxes. The other one is our education fund, which helps that number go up more, and that is our tuition support based on our average daily membership, our ADM, and we receive that on a monthly basis. And then you'll see there our percent of budget expended. Down in the middle here on our year-to-date summary, it summarizes all that and then also provides the fund cash balance from those three main funds. And that is what I have here for the quarterly financials. I'd be happy to answer any questions the board may have at this time.
Just one. So for the ADM count, right? They do ADM in like October, twice a year, right? So then like they break the tuition payments they come from the state, right?
Correct.
And so they break those monthly, right? So
Yes.
do they do so like in October and then you get it to like, and then.
Right. Really, it is July to December
Okay.
and January to June.
Got it.
So in July, they start out with estimated numbers. As soon as we have our October count solidified and certified, then they shore up those amounts from that previous month and then do the other two. Same thing in January. They start out with the estimated same amounts. And then as soon as they shore up the February certified amounts, then they shore that up backwards. So it's that first 6 months that's for October, and the second six months is from that February one.
So with the increase in enrollment we had after we had a lot of people come from other school districts, we saw an increase in our tuition.
Yes, we did. And that you'll see in our education fund. If you look at the comparisons between months and years, you'll see that increase in that line item.
Thank you.
Good questions.
Other questions, board? Entertain a motion.
Move to approve the first quarter financial reports for January, February, and March as presented by Mrs. Smith.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further questions? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Mrs. Smith. And then the last agenda item or approval item, action item, is approval of the 2026 budget preparation calendar. Mrs. Smith.
Thank you very much. In your board packet and on the screen, you'll see, believe it or not, 2026. Yes, that's not a a mistake, 2026. That is how early that we start this process for the next calendar year's budget. So in the beginning of the year, by February, the Department of Local Government Finance and the Department of Ed sends out a budget calendar due date listing, so to speak. When we are doing our budgets, it consists of 3 major steps. And with those 3 major steps, it is when I do the work session with the board and we ask for permission to advertise. That's step 1. Step 2 is then hold a public hearing. And step 3 is the adoption of the budgets and some other resolutions. There are requirements between each one of those steps, days that are required in between. On your schedule, you'll see some dates in red. Those dates in red are the last statutory date that we're able to do each one of those processes. So we take those dates that were given at the beginning of the year and we work backwards with our school board's board meetings schedule. And then we put this schedule together, and that is how this went together. So what we're looking at is holding the first step in August 27th for the work session and permission to advertise. And then our next board meeting that we would hold the public hearing, which is the second step, and that is September 24th. And then last but not least, the following board meeting on October 15th is when we would ask the board for adoption of the budget. And then all that goes through those processes. Then it goes back to the Department of Local Government Finance. And then they certify our budgets by the end of this calendar year for the next ensuing year. I'd be happy to answer any of the questions the board may have at this time.
Board? Hearing none, I entertain a motion.
Move to approve the 2026 budget preparation calendar as presented by Mrs.
Been moved and seconded. Any further comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Mrs. Smith.
Thank you very
That
much.
concludes the action item portion of our meeting. And again, no information items this week. So we're on to special events and liaison reports, and I'll just start in the middle randomly. Let's go with Mr. Thompson. How's that?
I got to attend Allisonville's Elementary's school visit with the Allisonville, such a just kind of a testament of all of our referendum dollars. It's a beautiful renovated school. There's a lot of cool learning going on. I learned that third graders learn about the War of 1812, and so there's a book that they use that was kind of cool. And so I really enjoyed that. I also have been on the legislative side. I've been doing a lot of advocating for the SB 287 that it does not pass. So far, for those who are watching or here, if it's to make school boards partisan. And so we're at the tail end of the legislative session, and the author of the bill keeps passing to calling it down. And I think that's because our efforts of calling legislators and asking them to oppose that bill is working. So if you guys are out there and you're interested, please continue to call and oppose that bill, which would require school boards to be partisan in some respect. Also got to speak at the last Parent Council Network meeting. I'm the school board liaison for the Parent Council Network meeting. And today, I think we have several members in the audience. So I want to acknowledge them and recognize them for coming. These meetings are important. These are where decisions are made. So thank you for making the time to come. And that's what I have.
Miss Fry, sorry.
Thank you. Let's see, I have been doing a little collaboration with Ms. Smith and Mr. Gata, our journalism teacher, on some updates and fixes to some policies on student media. I was happy to join Mr. Thompson also in advocacy around the budget. The property relief bill, SB 1, as well as HB 1001, the budget. So I was down at the State House last Monday, was it? We were able to be there together, talk to our legislators, although they're not really the ones we need to work on, but it was good to be able to join with ISTA and folks to make our voices heard there as school board members. And then last but not least, I wasn't there, but I did get to take lots of pictures for the pre-prom festivities, for junior prom, which seemed to be really great. Kids seemed to really enjoy it. And, it was fun as a parent to get to do all the picture taking.
Thank you. This is George Davis.
I haven't been very busy because 2 days after the last board meeting, I had a bit of an accident. And I am in a boot. And I had to get permission to drive here today. But I have been attending my liaison meetings, working with Mrs. Smith on some policy updates, and trying to be a healthy board member.
I'll leave after you. I'm just teasing. Mrs. Schwartz Kruger.
Nice. I continue to participate in the strategic plan development that is coming to fruition. It's going to be ready pretty soon. And it's an incredible initiative that has taken a lot of time from administrators and teachers and principals. And it's been an honor to participate in those conversations. And I think it's really going to be a great plan. And I think it's going to continue to grow this township and do well for our students and for all the people who work here. So I've been pleased to be included. And I will be at the foundation liaison. I'm in the liaison for the board meeting, and they have a meeting coming up. So I'll report on that the next time.
Thank you. And so I have not been very active, other
Where's your
than,
boot?
and I know I don't have a boot. I don't have a boot excuse, but I have not been attending any events this past couple of weeks, but I'm sure there are others I will be attending soon. So anything else for the good of the order?
You attended a critical meeting with Dr. Taylor.
What was that?
Budget Friday. Board meeting.
Oh, well, that's like part of the job. I mean, it's any other things for the board? All right, entertain a motion for adjournment. If all those in favor signify. Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.